account, but I never really knew the power that Instagram had. And once I started joining various groups online, I really was fascinated with it, and I really took to doing some research. And through that and my own personal experiences is how I found all the information for this webinar. So we're gonna do the how to create a celebrity-worthy Instagram account. So let me go over this. So the agenda for this webinar, what we're going to go over, I'm going to show you the benefits of organic growth versus automation. We're going to address the misconceptions regarding being noticed on Instagram. We're going to go over the 3 fundamentals of Instagram. I'm going to teach you how to implement actionable Instagram strategies every day. And I'm also going to provide you with a step-by-step engagement guide to use on Instagram. All right, so hopefully no one is having any problems seeing this. Again, if you have any problems, just try to let me know. We'll try to see if we can access the chat group. But any questions themselves, unless it's a technical thing, just try to save them towards the end. So let's get started. So here are just a few quick stats about Instagram. All right, so according to Science Daily, 90% of Instagram users are younger than 35 years old. There are currently 600 million Instagram accounts, which actually I learned that it's just gone up to about 650 million Instagram accounts. The top brands on Instagram are seeing a per follower engagement rate of 4.21%, which is 58 times higher than on Facebook and 120 times higher than on Twitter, which this is according to Hootsuite. And Hootsuite is a scheduler that people use for social media posts. So saying with a higher per follower engagement rate, it's just saying that people are more likely to engage with you on Instagram than on these other platforms. And engagement could be likes, comments, anything of the sort. All right, so all of this means that you can't afford to not be on Instagram. You know that, isn't that why you're here? All right, so lately everything's become organic. Shouldn't Instagram be the same? All right, I don't know what that means. I'm getting like some L. All right, I don't know what that L means. All right, so let me just continue and hopefully, oh, maybe someone might have joined. Okay. So I'm seeing something here. I'm not quite sure what this means, what's going on here. All right, so close the current. All right, so let's just minimize this and see what is going on here. All right, it might be some kind of a notification. All right, there we go. So I am not sure what happened. Oh, we might have gotten someone who's joining. I apologize, this is the first time that I'm using this, so hopefully everything is working. All right, no, we want this. All right, so let's minimize all of these, and hopefully I see an L, so whoever it is that joined, thank you for joining. So you didn't really miss too much. I was just giving a couple of kind of stats about Instagram and saying just exactly how big Instagram is, and that if you're not on Instagram already or you're not taking it seriously, that you really need to start putting some effort and some dedication into growing your Instagram accounts. So now I'm actually going to go over the actual content of the presentation. If you have any questions or any problems technically, let me know. Otherwise, anything else, save until the end of the presentation. All right, so let's get started. So as I was saying, everything is organic. Now, shouldn't Instagram be the same? All right, so you're going to hear a lot in regards to Instagram about automation. Automation, you want to think bots. Instagram actually has bots. That's how they run the platform. But the problem that people are doing is they're trying to take a shortcut and using their own bots or their own automated systems to kind of game the platform and raise their amount of followers. The problem with Instagram, though, is even though they're using automation to manage the platform, they don't want users themselves using automation. Instagram has an algorithm, that's what the bots take care of and keep running. But when you automate it, it kind of throws everything off. All automation is not created equal. So if you're going to automate your account, you have to really do some research and really find out what the good ones are. If you're also going to automate your account, you want to automate it right from the very beginning. So once you start posting on that account, that's when you automate it. You don't want to automate it halfway through the process after you've already got, say, 25, 30 posts, for example. But really, you want to stay away from automation, and we're going to go over a little bit more of that right now. So the wrong automation can actually get your account banned, because what happens is Instagram picks this up as spammy behavior, because all these different automation systems, sometimes they're not even from the US, they're from other different places. And so Instagram will see activity from different places, and they might think that you would have gotten hacked, or you're a spammer and you're trying to compromise the account that you're taking control of right now, or other accounts. So it can get your account banned, reported for spammy behavior, and it can even attract some spammy accounts. So you really want to stay away from automation as much as possible, even try to avoid it for the most part. So some people actually, another problem aside from being perceived as being a spammy account, is that some people rely too much on automation and lose that human touch. The reason why that Instagram was started in the first place was to be able to help people connect and, get to know each other, share their stories, that kind of a thing. Why else do we look at photos? It's for memories and building, it's almost like a living collage of our lives. And some people rely too much on automation, and they're so focused on getting followers that they forget to like, they forget to comment, they forget to engage, they forget the whole reason that we actually have Instagram to begin with. And again, automation is just a temporary fix for gaining followers. We know that whole follow-unfollow method. It's kind of similar to automation. What most automation will do is they'll follow accounts that are similar to the account. They'll look for certain hashtags and follow users who use those hashtags. And they'll follow all these people in an attempt to get those follows back, and then they'll just unfollow. So you'll be following, say, 500 people, and then all of a sudden you'll unfollow like 350 of them. So it's just a temporary fix, because you're going to get those followers, but once people catch on to what you're doing, and hey, this person's just following and unfollowing people are going to unfollow you too. They're not going to want to engage with you. People like organic accounts. They like to build relationships. That's the whole point of Instagram. So if you're using automation, if you're going to use automation, you can't just rely on the automation. You have to actually engage. If you're not going to use automation, that's really the best thing. It's going to take a little while longer, but in the end, it's going to be worth it. So some of the misconceptions on gaining a following, you might think, oh, well, I'm not famous. I'm not a celebrity. I'm not on a TV show or anything. Who's going to care about me and what I'm doing? If you're selling a product or a service, or you're an affiliate marketer, an online marketer, whatever it is, you're building your own business, you might think, no one's going to ever buy from me because I barely have any followers. Who's going to take me seriously? But what if I told you that you're wrong? It's not about who will follow you or buy from you. It's that someone even will. There's one person out there, even if you have 1 follower, you have 2 followers, 5 followers, 10, whatever. As long as you have 1 follower, that one person could be the person that you're looking for, or you could be the person that they're looking for. All you need to know is the 3 eyes of Instagram. So this is something I kind of thought of a bit sporadically, but I realized that it kind of relates to the whole point of Instagram. So number 1 is interact. I say engage until your hands cramp up. That's really the way to go. As much as it's not fun, having to stop and, do some wrist exercises or whatever after engaging an hour on Instagram, that's really what you want to be doing. You want to be engaging with people, because the more you engage with people, the more that people are going to actually notice you, and they're going to head over to your account and see what it is that you're doing, and hopefully in the end, you will get a follower. So number 2, inspire. It's all about the content. We're going to go a little bit deeper into that in just a minute or 2. And then 3, interest. The bio is where it's at. So the bio is a great way to get people interested. We're going to talk about that a little bit more as well in just a few minutes. All right, so 1, interact. Respond to every comment that you receive. I can't stress this enough, because a like is great, but a comment goes just a step further. And if you want to go even further with that, you can send a personal message or a direct message to your new followers. So what I do is I take a picture of myself, just smiling or something interesting that just comes off friendly, and you can put a caption underneath. You can put a caption underneath in the picture itself. You can just put a caption in writing and just send that to your followers. And it really goes the extra mile to say thank you. I really appreciate the follow. And it's something personal. The only thing you don't want to do, though, is you don't want to have a long message, because automation accounts that are automated have the picture and they have this huge paragraph underneath. You just want to say thanks for the follow. If you could, maybe check out the link in my bio, or take a look at my bio, or something like that. You want to actually like your followers' posts. So go through and like some of their posts. People that you're following, if they're not following you already, go and like some of their posts. Commenting, liking, engaging, that's what this is all about. Even what people are doing now is they're joining engagement groups. So when people join engagement groups, they usually set dedicated times to when they're going to go and like a certain person's posts or comment on them. They might do either or both. And what happens is this actually helps to boost your ranking on Instagram. And one of the popular platforms right now is Telegram, which I actually am not an expert in yet, but I am learning how to use it. Even if you don't want to use Telegram, you can do through Instagram direct message. And there's an option where you can just share and people in that group can go and like. It's just about, again, getting yourself out there, getting noticed. But don't fall into the automation trap and try to get an automated engagement group. You want to actually be a human being behind the phone and actually engaging. The whole focus again is on building relationships with the followers that you do have. And if you engage with those followers, they'll stick around. And then if you engage with new followers, or new, accounts and whatnot, they might eventually become followers. All right, so number 2, inspire. And there are 2 parts to this. So number 1 is content, and number 2 is hashtags. All right, so what am I seeing with this message? So, okay, so L, could you actually write your first name at least so I know who it is? But let me get through the rest of this, and in about 10 minutes, I'm going to answer that question. We're going to answer any questions anyone has. Okay? So just hold off for just a couple minutes. So let me get back to content. So clear pictures are a must. I see some people who will post and I'll look at a quote. I'll be like, man, that's a really great quote. But I'll go to actually look on the picture and the picture is blurry. You want clear pictures. And there are so many apps that you can use to actually filter. And there's a tool called Sharpen. And so if your picture's a little blurry, between Sharpen and Contrast, you can actually make the picture appear clearer and more in focus. All right, so posting pictures 4 to 6 times a day. So this is the best way, obviously. The more you post, the more visible you're going to be across Instagram. But if you say some people who are maybe managing a personal account and a business account, such as myself, actually it's kind of tough to do 4 on one account, 4 on the other. So what I do is I split them between accounts. So I'll do 2 or 3 times on one account and 2 or 3 times on the other. And then what I will do is in the bios of each account, I will mention the other account. So what happens is one person sees that account and the post, and they see, oh, well, this person also owns this account. And it drives all of your followers or your potential followers to your other account where they'll see your other posts. So that's a really nifty trick that you guys can try. Again, whatever is in your niche, you want to focus as much as possible. So provide tips, motivational quotes, lifestyle images, anything else that relates. If you have a fitness niche, you can post a workout video. Maybe you created a video on YouTube and you can break that up into separate clips and post those clips on your Instagram. If you're a blogger, you can post maybe a quote from your blog. It depends on your niche. People value when you share your story, which again goes back to the lifestyle images or something of the sort. Or you could provide a quote and maybe something that you yourself have said and put a little bit of a story behind it and give some background information on that. I found that the posts that I get the most engagement from are actually something really personal to myself, and people have connected and appreciated that. Okay, so regarding hashtags next. A hashtag is a unique word or phrase that helps a user to find your posts. So I read in one of our groups that someone was saying it's kind of like the SEO on a blog. It's kind of a label to help identify your posts. You want to take advantage of the full 30 that you can use on every post. Get as close to 30 as possible, if not 30. So what you're going to do now you know that you need to obviously have the hashtags. You're going to put those hashtags in the comment. So not in the caption, but in the comment to make your post appear clearer. What hashtags are you going to use in that comment section? What you're going to do is this is where you need to implement some hashtag research. Sit down, take a half an hour, 45 minutes. Again, it's a little bit of time, but the effort is worth it. And you're going to search just write down any hashtags that you think are relatable to your niche. You're going to search those on Instagram. Who is using it? How many people are using it? You want to keep it, the people who are using it, related to your niche. Again, you don't want spammers take advantage of common hashtags. So you want to know who's using those hashtags. You can even create some of your own hashtags. So I like to do a mix of ones that I know other people know, and then some of my own that are personal to my account, because it helps me to stand out a little bit more. All right. I'm trying to see. All right. So let me go back right now before I get any further, and let me go through automation. So automation, people automate through their accounts. They usually buy software. I don't want to name the software per se, but they'll go and they'll buy software. And so they pay for the software. The software, they connect it, they log in through Instagram to that software. And that software essentially acts like the person. It will go and follow people and like people, some even comment. So that's what automation is. But what happens is automation can go a little crazy. It can't be like you and I, where if we were liking something too fast and Instagram says, hey, slow down, and then we can stop and take an hour's break and go back. It doesn't know sometimes when to stop. So what it will do, okay, yeah, it's no problem. I felt a little uncomfortable calling you Elle, but it's okay, no worries. So yeah, robots taking over it. Exactly. So that's basically automation. You want to try to stay away from automation as much as possible, because it's just gonna look spammy and it's not gonna be a good look for your account. Especially if you're new, you can't, it's harder to grow if you're new versus if you already have 5,000 followers or 10,000. So you want to really, kind of do things right from the beginning, just to avoid any of these mistakes. Okay, so number 3 is interest. Aside from your posts, your bio is a great way to create interest about what you're doing. Okay, so I'm going to show you some of my accounts in just a minute, but let me tell you how you can take advantage of the bio. So as I was saying before, is you can use your bio to mention one account on that account, so people who see the account that they're on now will be curious and might check out your other accounts and eventually follow you or engage with you. But as for the bio itself, the description, I like to call it the 4 or 5 point story. So the 4 or 5 point story essentially reads like a story. It gives a brief description about you, your brand, or your business. It includes a call to action, which is commonly known as a CTA, and a link. So let me show you some of the examples of my accounts. All right, so I have this account right here. It's called The Inspirational Educator. This is my personal account. I'm actually happy to say that I have now grown to about 369 followers from the last time I took the screenshot of this yesterday. But this is the account. So I have my name, and I understand the privacy. So even though you're making it public, you want to make your accounts public to get the most followers. You still I understand maintaining a sense of privacy. So I just have my first and middle name. So I have future teacher on a journey to spread love and knowledge wherever I go. Right now it's my small town, but college is almost over. Follow along below. So it's kind of like a bunny capturing captivating little story. But this follow along below right here, and then the little hand pointing down, that's my call to action. And then this is my link right here. People, I suggest using Bitly or some link shortener, because people sometimes, if they have long links in their Instagram bio, that's a good indicator that they're a spam account. So to avoid that, shorten the link, and you can, it looks better and people are more likely to click on it. They're not gonna feel like some horrible link's gonna pop up. So definitely use that, but that's your call to action. The follow along below and then the link. In this account, this is my business account for the business that I'm trying to start online. So again, I have these bullet points dedicated to helping everyone live out their passions. And here's what I was talking about. So it's founded by me, and I even put my other Instagram, my personal Instagram username in there. So what happens is anyone who sees this might be curious, and go to my other account. So I have my call to action, get your free guide to success here, and then the link again. All right, so as you can see, there's a lot of work that goes into growing your Instagram account the right way, because loyal followers will always pay in one way or another. So eventually, they might pay, literally, but just saying that the people who are loyal to you on Instagram, they're gonna stick around. They're gonna want to know what you're doing and see what it is that, you're all about. So how do you go about engagement? You need a strategy. All right, so the strategy that I'm gonna tell you about has actually resulted in me being followed by some entrepreneurs. So they're traveling the world right now full time. They don't have jobs, but yeah, they, as you can see, very high following, 10.7K followers. I only have 369 at the moment. Ordinary Traveler, again, this is a blogger, an entrepreneur type, 49.1K followers. And then right here, Valeriana is a YouTuber. Now, I kind of cropped out all of their actual bios, except just to show you that I'm a very tiny account. And what I've been doing, I found it was interesting that, hey, I was attracting all these accounts with really high amounts of followers. Okay, so this is some of the engagement. So I showed you the followers. This is actually the engagement. So I woke up yesterday morning to find that Andy Grammer had liked one of my posts. And he actually did that on my new account as well as my old account. I just did a post that referenced some musician or something or other, or concert, and I wound up getting noticed by Andy Grammer. All right, so you guys might not know Daniel Goddard, but he is actually one of my mom's favorite soap opera actors, and he liked one of my posts. So my mom kind of flipped out when she heard that. All right, so the strategy that I kind of came up with, I gave it a title. I call it my Mastery Engagement Blueprint. So basically, it's a step-by-step guide of what I do every day that has allowed me to get noticed and recognized by some really cool accounts with these really large followings and fan bases. So again, it's the Mastery Engagement Blueprint. It takes some effort, but I really started noticing the positive effects of doing this on a daily basis. And I'm giving it to you for free just for attending this webinar.